This is the palace of Cazador Zar. Entry is forbidden. Leave now, citizen.
The guard's words are clear, but spoken without thought or intent. Behind her eyes, you see nothing. She must be one of the charmed thralls Astarion mentioned.
Of course. Whatever the master desires. Enter freely, and of your own will.
Another guest for the master's celebration. I'm afraid you're too late. You'll have to... Master Astarion? What are you doing here? Why aren't you downstairs?
Well, obviously I'm on my way down now. So if you could just point us in the right direction.
But you're too late. The doors have been sealed. The ritual is about to begin. It's too late. Godi has sealed the doors and will not open them until the ritual is complete.
Cazador gave the key to Godi. And where is this sadistic old sack of bones?
It does not matter. You're too late. The master will be so angry that you missed the ritual. He will do such terrible, terrible things to you. I do not have any more time to waste. There is too much to do, too much to prepare.
So this is it. I'm home. There's the same fading carpet. The same tasteless art. Nothing's changed. But gods, everything feels different. Oh no, it's much worse than that. They're fanatics. Here of their own free will and utterly devoted to Cazador. Each one came to our door and begged to be given his eternal gift. They're sure he'll turn them if they serve him well enough. He'd almost feel sorry for the poor deluded souls. But they're idiots who brought this upon themselves, so don't. He's Cazador's skeletal right hand. He kept us in line when Master didn't feel like torturing us himself. If Cazador's going to trust anyone to lock the doors behind him, it'd be that rattling old carcass. Godi kept us in kennels downstairs. The Master ruled everywhere else, but they were his domain. It does feel strange, breaking into your own home, especially if murder's on your mind. Then again, this is hardly the strangest thing we've done together. Although it could be the most satisfying. Well, the second most satisfying. If my dear siblings were right, Cazador's hiding somewhere below the palace. After so many years, I would have spotted any secret tunnels out here. The only place that was off limits to us was his study. If the entrance is anywhere, it'll be there, through the ballroom. Oh, I've never been less sure of anything. But if I don't face him now, I never will. I'll spend the rest of my life running, watching the shadows, never feeling safe. No. This has to happen. Here and now. Also, there's a small matter of all that power I can steal from the bastard. So that'll be nice. I know you're there, Golly. Stop skulking and show yourself.
You always were sharp, little one. Sharp enough to cut yourself.
It's taking everything I have not to grind your rotten carcass to dust.
Don't be mad at Godi, child. I only did my job. Only kept you in line.
You tortured us. For days at a time.
Oh, yes. And you sang so sweetly for me. None of the others screamed like you did. But you're home now, and you brought me a treat, eh? A new friend for Godi. Not very nice. Not very friendly. Why are you here then, little one, if not to see Godi?
We're here to see the Master. But the ballroom door's locked. Give us the key.
No, it is too late. The doors are sealed on Master's orders. Godi will not open them for anyone, much less for you. Godi was wondering about that. Godi knows the Master was searching for Astarion. He must have forgotten Astarion was lost. Here it is. Now go to him. Help him achieve his destiny.
The door is covered in intricate text, but you can't see anywhere a key might fit. Only a small round hollow engraved with a family crest. Looking closer, you recognize the writing. It's the same Kozakuran script from the dictionary you found. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door swings open.
You can't be here. No one in, no one out.
You're new. Cazador never kept guard dogs before.
The runaway spawn. You reek of the Master's scent. Come with us. Come to Master.
Excuse me? I will not be ordered around my own house by some blow-in mutt.
We bring you to him. We get his favor.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Politicians, minor nobles, fist officers, all sorts. Information. Asked so many questions. Power structures in city. Weaknesses. Who he needed to control. Enjoying party. Drinking. Talking. Wolves arrived when our host left, slaughtered us. Sterlak, senior clerk in counting house.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions. You stand on a clean metal platform, a beautiful but antiquated elevator. There are some scuffs to show its age, signs of things dragged onto it over the years, but it seems to be in good working order.
What in the hells? I never knew this was here. This was always Cazador's private quarters. Only he ever came in here. Well, him and the unfortunate souls we brought to feed him.
Just like the door to the ballroom upstairs, this door features no keyhole, but does have an indentation for a signet ring. The ring slots perfectly into place, and the door opens, assailing you with pungent, musty air. On On the pillow rests a skull with a scroll clamped in its bony jaws. The skull's empty eye sockets flare with an eldritch gleam. You feel invited somehow to witness the skull's memories. It seems urgent. This skull is all that remains of the vampire Velioth. He turned Cazador, gave him the gift, and then taught him the rules of vampiric existence. Velioth's first lesson is always to dominate. Allow none to be your equal. Velioth recalls when Cazador reached out to a former friend. His punishment was to watch as Velioth drained his friend dry. Velioth's second lesson is that power comes from solitude. To share with others is to be weak, and to be weak is to fail and die. Velioth recalls when Cazador rebelled against him. Cazador suffered 11 years of impalement because he failed. Velioth's third lesson is to act not in haste. A near immortal has time to plan, time to act only when others will pay the price of action. Velioth recalls Cazador, his lessons learned, killing him in the rite of perfect slaughter. How they both laughed. Velioth recalls Cazador boiling the flesh from his skull, and then, to mock him, clamping his schooling scroll in Velioth's jaws. The skull's eyes flash a final time, and its jaws sag open. The scroll with all of Cazador's rituals is yours. Velioth is no more.
This is all so grand. To think, it was just sitting here, lurking under the floor. I don't know. It feels older than that. Who knows how old? But Cazador will want a grand space for his ascension. A venue like this feels perfect. Now we just need to see what lies at the heart of this place.
Approaching the cells, you're met with hollow-eyed faces. There's an almost physical stink of decay and neglect.
Ugh, disgusting. Cazador never fed on wretches like this. How did they get here? What is Cazador doing with them? I should have guessed there was more to it than Raphael would ever have told.
You. I know you. You're the one from the tavern. You smiled and joked and got me drunk.
No. You're dead.
You called me so many sweet things. My name sounded like a lyric on your tongue.
Sebastian.
You remember me.
You were handsome. Shy. You'd never been kissed.
You taught me how. And then you destroyed me.
It can't be.
Beneath the dirt and blood, you notice that every prisoner has a rune carved into their flesh.
Then they're bound to the Black Mass too. Bound through the scars. Through me. I know these faces. Every one that shares my scar. They're my conquests. I pursued them. Seduced them. and brought them to Cazador. He told us he was feeding on them, but he turned them to spawn. He turned every last one, so we'd have souls for this cursed ritual.
How long?
What?
How long have I been down here?
170 years. You were one of my first.
My family. My friends. They're gone. You took them from me. You took everything from me. Help. Help. There's no helping us while that monster lives.
That's why we're here. To destroy Cazador.
You can't. It's not possible. And then? What happens to us? I don't know.
Trust me when I say I know the feeling, but you can resist the urge.
Whatever you do, just do it quickly. I can't go on waiting.
We'll be back. You have my word. Gods above. He kept Sebastian. I should have known what Cazador was capable of. He's played us for such fools. And not just 7 spawn to placate the devil. 7 spawn and 7,000 souls bound to them in blood. Everyone, whoever trusted me enough to let down their guard, innocents, idiots, and the unlucky. It doesn't matter. I will need to sacrifice them all if I want to perform the ritual. What's the point? They're as good as dead. I thought they were dead. If they are unleashed, they will cause incredible carnage. They will be ravenous. They must die. Better they serve a purpose. Gods, I can't say you're wrong. I can only say I'm so glad we didn't meet then. I don't even want to think what would have happened to you. I would have killed you.
Hey! Hey, you! Come closer.
Oh, God. It can't be.
It is you. I knew it. I'll kill you. Once I get out of here, I'll kill you! Camp. Monster hunters. The Gur camp. Oh, gods! My parents' camp! Chessa, focus! Resist the beast inside you. You promised! It's your fault! You did this to us! Didn't he tell you? He's the one that kidnapped us! He's the reason we're spawns! I'll kill you!
Yes. Now that you, mention it, I may have done that. Don't look at me like that. Cazador's orders. Quite the deviation from my usual routine, of course. Capture, not lure. I didn't bring them in with sweet rolls or anything. I really forgot about them. felt nothing the moment I handed them over to him. Oh.
Parents? You've seen my parents? I miss them. I think. Or perhaps it's the hunger. Oh, I don't know. It's so hard to tell. You should go. Leave us here. We shouldn't be out there. We'd hurt our families.
Behind the exhaustion, starvation, and fear, recognition stirs in her eyes, and with it, hope.
You really mean it? Cazador's got this stuff. It controls the doors. If you get it, you can set everyone free. If you get it, somehow. Good luck. If you fail, well, I suppose we'll be seeing you again in here.
Well, you clearly want to say something. I'm not sure. I've been weighing my options. On the one hand, they're the key to my unlocking eternal power and freedom. On the other, well, it's my fault they're here. Yes, it was Cazador's command. I had no choice, but it seems now I do. And what am I owed? What about the injustices I've suffered? Am I not entitled to anything? All that matters now is killing Cazador. I've earned that, if nothing else. We can deal with the prisoners when the time is right. After all, they're not going anywhere.
Who stands before us? Is this truly our prodigal son? Do not slouch before me, boy. Have you no respect for yourself? Look at you, crawling back after abandoning your family. You should be begging our forgiveness.
Forgiveness? You've never forgiven anything. Every mistake, every slip was punished.
I strove for perfection in all things, even those as imperfect as you. A pity you amounted to so little, despite my efforts.
No! No. Fuck you. And fuck everything you've ever done to me!
I will not speak to cattle. This is between me and the boy.
You son of a bitch.
You truly forgot my power. You truly thought our bond as creator and creation was all that stopped you from killing me? Oh, you are weak, my child. You are a small, pathetic little boy who never amounted to anything. But today, you will finally do something worthwhile. You will burn, and I will ascend.
No! Stop him! Get me out of this!
Witness the birth of the Vampire Ascendant! Ecce Dominus!
No healing sleep for you.
Wake up!
Get your hands off me, worm!
I'm not the one in the dirt. One last thrust, and I'll be free of you. I'll never have to fear you again. But if I finish the ritual you started, I'll never have to fear anyone. Ever.
You think me a fool? That I would allow anyone to usurp me, speak the words, and ascend in my place? The runes I carved into your flesh bind you and all 7,000 souls to the ritual. Complete it, and those bearing the scars will be sacrificed, you included. You are simply a means to an end. I made you to be consumed.
I am so much more than what you made me. I can do this, but I need your help. These people died years ago. Trust me on that. All that's left are feral spawn, desperate for blood. If we release them, how many people will they kill? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands? But if they die and I ascend, I won't have to rely on the parasite to walk in the sun. I'll be free. Truly. Completely free. Isn't that what you want? You're right. I can be better than them. But I'm not above enjoying this.
Is it over? Is he...
Yes. He's gone.
What does that mean for us? I don't know.
Your choices are simple, really. You can hide here, living in the shadows like parasites. Or you could be more than what he made us to be. You can choose differently, of course. But the consequences are on your head.
And what does it mean for them?
Now, that's a better question. 7,000 spawn, from ancient conquests to stolen children.
Cazador's staff controlled everything during the ritual. If it controls the cells too, you could decide their fate.
The poor wretches in the cells are innocent. They shouldn't have to suffer just because I lured them here. They'll need someone to lead them. Take the tunnels into the Underdark. Find somewhere, well, not safe, but less perilous.
What? No, we can't!
Just try to keep them out of trouble. I think we're done here. Let's go. That's it. He's gone. After all these years, these centuries, it's really over. I'm glad you think so, because I'm not so sure. I just feel numb. What I've lost. What I've gained. It's all so much. And God, all those spawn. Free in the Underdark. I need some time, I think. Just to let it all sink in. Let's just go. This place reeks of death, and I want to feel alive again.
You killed one vampire, but released 7,000 of his spawn. Have you lost all sense?
They were innocents. To kill them would have been an even greater crime. But if you do decide to go hunting them, know they include your children.
They survived?
Well, that depends on how you define survived, really. But they are free. They're making their way into the Underdark as we speak.
This is difficult news. We will need to decide what it means. Thank you for what you have done. Slaying Cazador was a great justice. As for the rest, well, time will tell.
I will find my little ones. Wherever they are hiding, we will see what can be done.
If you think those spawn will stay in the Underdark, you're a fool. We'll see them soon, mark my words.
You let thousands of vampires spawn go free. How many will die because you could not do what needed to be done?
Anyone capable of killing a vampire as powerful as Cazador has my respect. But you are not a true hunter. Sparing the spawns was an error. Releasing them was an act of madness.
Thousands of vampire spawn on the run. Our own children among them. I only pray something of their innocence remains.
The elevator lies ready to carry you back up to the palace.
Let's get out of here. I've had more than my fill of this place.
To forswear the strength of 7,000 souls. That is an act of true strength, says Boo. Astarion may borrow Minske's muscles whenever he is needful. Brave, powerful, puny Astarion.
They say that the only thing a vampire can feel is hunger. Nothing else touches them. Not grief or mercy. Or any sense of what is just. Who knows? There is often more ignorance than insight in what they say.
So Astarion didn't fulfill his master's ambitions for himself. At least that means he's his own man. Though, I'm a little surprised he didn't covet those powers.
Astarion resisted the allure of Cazador's would-be powers, and I am glad of it. Whatever he would have gained would have come at a great price.
Astarion showed restraint where most others wouldn't. He might not appreciate the sentiment, but I'm proud of him.
Astarion chose right, and any well-trained Githyanki would have chosen the same. We seek might not for individual power, but for the good of the collective. I may no longer serve Vlaakith, but I still attend to a collective, the allies of the Prince of the Comet, And, of course, the one we've made for ourselves. To seek power for personal glory alone is a farce. Astarion was wise to see it.
He'd hate to hear me say this, but I'm so fucking proud of Astarion. He could have had it all, but he kept his soul instead. Wasn't sure he had it in him, but he's changed so much. Overcome so much darkness. Oh, I could smooch that pointy little face.
You did a good thing back there. I won't dwell on the matter. I know that's not a sentiment you're accustomed to reveling in, but rest assured, your actions have spoken for themselves.
I should probably start getting used to the shadows again. Who knows how long I have left in the sun? Maybe. But even if I could control it, it's a dangerous game. I'd spend every day waiting for something to go wrong, for the tadpole to find some new trick, reassert itself, make me a slave again. Maybe never seeing the sun again is just the price of freedom. I think I do. Assuming we survive, of course, because a horrible death is always just around the corner with you. There's something I'd like to show you, if that's all right. Something out in the city. This way. It's not far.
The graveyard is appropriately silent. There isn't a proverbial soul around.
Perhaps. But some things are classics for a reason. Nearly 200 years. And I never came back. Not since the night I woke up down there. I had to punch a hole in the coffin and claw my way through 6 feet of dirt. Then when I finally broke the surface, retching up dirt and congealed blood, Cazador was waiting. From that day on, I was his. Until today. Maybe. But he did take it. There's almost nothing left of the person I was. Just a name on a rock. For nearly 2 centuries, I stalked the streets like a ghost. And the person I was lay here. Dead and buried. Now I need to figure out who I am. What I want. I feel the same. You were by my side through all of this. Through bloodlust and pain and misery. You were patient. You cared. You trusted me when that was an objectively stupid thing to do. I feel safe with you. Seen. And whatever the future holds for me, I don't want to lose that. Thank you. Well, I should probably fix this. cute. I've been dead in the ground for long enough. It's time to try living again. With everything that life has to offer. If a night of passion is on offer, I could be persuaded. You know, I didn't care for you when we first met, but I do now. Being with you is about more than lust or manipulating you into a tactical alliance. I love you. I love this. And I want it all. It feels ridiculous to still be thinking about Cazador. He's gone. I'm here. I won. But I still keep reliving everything that happened. Playing it over and over in my mind. I have to hope so. And if not, at least there's only so much damage they can do in the Underdark. But that first rush of freedom can be intoxicating. I didn't always make the best decisions when I first tasted it. They'll need guidance. No. Much as I'd like to become a lord ruling over the Underdark's vampire spawn, we have unfinished business with the Mind Flayers. After that, who knows? Everything that happened to those spawn is my fault. In a way. I suppose that's the less convenient side of freedom. Having to live with the choices you made. Back at the ritual, all I could see was the power on offer and the safety it promised. I was so blinded by it. Just as Cazador was. But you saw something in me. Someone else I could be. Someone who could break the cycle of power and terror that started centuries ago. You saved me back there. I may not have appreciated it at the time, but I do now. Thank you. So am I. Fun as all that power would have been, this feels more me. When I look at my future, anything and everything feels possible now. And I get to share it with you as a partner. An equal. You saved me from myself. And let me walk a new path where I can be free. Truly, honestly free. This is a gift, you know. Thank you. I won't forget it.
God's damned hypocrite! The Blade of Frontiers, all pomp and empty oaths. The Sword Coast's most dashing fraud. I trusted you. I believed in you.
Floric, what are you on about? What is this?
Lady Mizora told me everything. How you slaughtered your own father. How you crave his power. I thought you were going to save him. But you abused his current state to get rid of him. You mean to make the city bow to you, and you alone.
That meddling ghoul. Floric,
Save it. My duty is to Baldur's Gate, and it holds no place for Ravengard's treacherous spawn. The Blade of Frontiers, hero of the Sword Coast, and his own father's killer. I can barely believe it. At ease. By the living gods, I believe you. What darkness has fallen upon us? Will, there's something you must know. I should have told you sooner, but I'd hoped somehow your father would return to us. He knew about the Absolute. I thought little of it at first, but he realized the danger before anyone else did. He understood that if the cult were successful in raising an army, Baldur's Gate would be doomed. Before the Absolutists abducted him, he told me that should he fall, I must seek you out and give you this message. Your father trained you in the ways of great champions. You are to use those lessons to wake the worm under the city. He is oath-bound to answer your call and come to our aid. A bronze dragon, yes. He sleeps beneath us even now, awaiting a hero to rouse him. The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldur he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened, but just the once. Since then, the city faced countless threats, but the Baldurians overcame them all. There was never any need to call upon the worm, but this time, things are different. This is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. Your father was right. We need Unsur's help. With him gone, the worm's awakening now falls to you. Take this. The legend of Ansur, an ancient epic, ill-remembered, dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you.
Baldur's Gate stands on the brink of the abyss. Let's awaken the worm and take back the city.
Ravengard's blood courses through your veins. Your father would be proud. I will go and assemble any allies I can find. When the battle horns call, we'll stand ready. Unleash the worm, Will. Let his tempest swallow the Absolute and its allies. Good luck.
Curse that rotten devil and her forked tongue, trying to set Floric against me. She's a damnable inferno of chaos. What matters now is that Floric saw sense, and we know our path forward. We'll finish what my father couldn't. We'll awaken Ansur, the heart of the gate. I do, and so did my father. Go on, read the legend of Ansur. Then we can plan our next steps.
Something on your mind?
You know exactly what's on my mind.
Why, only the truth. That you bear the blame for the Duke's untimely demise. Such a loyal servant of the city, so eager to hear of your exploits. Tell me, darling, how is she? What a relief. It would be a shame if she'd struck down the one and only blade. Alas, she misses the fallen Duke. Someone will need to step up in his absence. A man with the spirit of a dragon. His only son, perhaps.
You come to speak of the last time Minsk stood watch? The snoring, it was Boo. It is a phrase in the old tongue of Rashiman, meaning blunt blade. Even in the very belly of their battle rage, a berserker must always know friend from foe. The berserker who cannot must into battle with a blunted sword, so that their rage might harm none but themselves. Boo and I, we thank you for your kind words, my friend. But Minsk knows when he has made a mess that is for him and him alone to clean. But still, I will strive to be worthy of this faith you show in me. After all, even a blunt blade can break some bones, is it not so?
Whoa, whoa, mate. This is the last place you need to be. Clear off, yeah? 2 words. Guild business. Only an idiot gets between them and their shipments. Why didn't you lead with that? I trust you're gonna balance the books too, yeah? Oh yeah, weapons, drugs, bit of fire wine, you know, the usuals. Pleasure as always. Better clear it out before the fish get here. You know how they are.
You are asking the impossible. Gyrometics require a steady hand and a sharp gaze. I can barely keep my eyes open. I need to rest.
You have a son, do you not? Is he as lazy and pathetic as his spineless mother?
Wait! Stay your hand, I beg you. Prinsky's motivation sequence activated.
Tell me, Gondian. Tell me about your son.
He's not... Yes, Overseer Holt. He's frail in body and mind like me, like all of us. Yet by your grace, he lives.
And your wife?
She is... was useless and interfered with production quotas. You were wise to remove her from this world. Forgive my outburst. I will work through the night. This Watcher will be operational by dawn.
I will allow it. But if your work is anything short of impeccable, your son will die screaming. Is that clear?
Yes. Overseer Holtz.
Dread brother, stand ready. Gondians, so much as twitch, and I'll rip your tongues out myself.
You recognize the Overseer's uniform. She's a follower of Bane, the god of tyranny.
The relief crew was due hours past. Your tardiness will be noted, dread brother. Here, take this motivator. Be careful. This one's trigger is sensitive. If you drop it, it's likely to incinerate them all. I hope Lord Gortash gives the signal soon. I'm getting tired of their whining.
Nangufgrish of the lore. Your nervous gait betrays your presence, stranger. You don't belong here. Who are you? What? Go away! Your presence imperils us all. If any of us attempts to escape, our kin will die. The Overseers, they have a contraption. When triggered, it will kill everyone who wears a collar. You underestimate the enemy. The Overseers, they are Glixbrand Rakthar. The collars are not only equipped with explosives, there is also a mechanism that alerts the Overseers if they're removed. One of us may be able to save themselves, but it would be at the expense of everyone else. We can't risk it. Even if we did somehow unshackle our collars simultaneously and overthrow our oppressors, there would be consequences. Our families are held elsewhere. The Overseers need only activate those contraptions they hold, and they suffer the consequences of our actions too. We cannot win. We must aid in building these Vagron. Gunkal. Aye. Even more, I'd help you destroy this place. I don't know where they are, but some of the overseers must. You'll have to infiltrate deeper into the foundry. Just make sure you don't get caught. If they raise the alarm, they'll trigger the collars. I will pray for you. My daughter. Her name is Obinia. Gondral Frakas Hulnesh. May God be with you.
Hells, it's everywhere still. I don't suppose you've got any experience getting oil out of sealed wood. I don't really have any to spare. Maybe if I tried pissing on it. Now, did you want something, or do you just have an interest in fishing vessels? Buggered if I know. Might be something to do with all that oil in the water. It's too bad we can't sell them. Bloody waste, if you ask me. Me and Flea here were out on the water casting our nets, expecting to find the usual crop of halibut. Then, all of a sudden, my net starts dragging, and there's a bloody wave servant all twisted up in it. We took her back to the docks to try and help her, but she was already dead. And the other wave servants came to get it. Her. Sorry. They took her back to the temple. You can hear the bloody caterwauling from here. We both saw some sort of wake moving towards the docks when we picked her up. But there weren't any other boats around. Maybe it was something big moving underwater. I don't know. It was weird, whatever it was. Kinda looked like it might have been heading towards that building across the channel, actually. The boat's fine, but the nets are in tatters. Need to deal with all this oil before we can fix them, though. I hate sending Lee packing the girls off without me. But if that smuggler can get them to Waterdeep and away from the Absolute...
This is life and death for me too, mate. You only get as many berths on my sloop as you can pay for. If I allow any freeloaders, my own crew will scrag me. Very well, I'll do it. Suppose I can find some way to make it good with the crew.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I just couldn't bear to leave our girl's father behind.
I don't know who you are, but all I can say is thank you. If you ever have children, you'll understand what you've done for us.
Oh, Wave Mother, Queen of the Depths, hear me. Please carry Holly to her final rest in the deep wilds. Please. Sorry, are you here for Wave Servant Holly's funeral? Oh, it's already started. They're just inside. Yes. Oh, please, you're most welcome. We have much to be thankful for. May the Wave Mother smile on you as she did Holly.
Here to make an offering to Umberlee as well, eh? They say it's good luck to placate the bitch queen after a drowning. Glad to hear it, friend. Maybe Umberlee will set her hand to all the strangeness going on in Grey Harbor now she's lost one of her own.
Rejoice, sisters, for Umberlee has blessed her humble daughter with a pure death. Her lips blue with her kiss, her lungs full of her quenching word. Umberlee's mercy saved her from a slow, sinking death in the beast's shadow. How dare this beast sully the safety of Grey Harbor? We will find its master and send him struggling into the bitch queen's embrace. Not a sweet sleep like Holly's, but a suffocating flood of fruitless garths and bursting flesh. You, supplicant, what tribute do you bring to honor the Wave Mother's fallen daughter? A fine offering. Always appreciated in the eyes of the Wave Mother. Your tribute is well received. Breathe deep as she permits. Holly, one of Umberlee's beloved wave servants.
Blessed Umberlee saw fit to spare an ignoble death. But her passing was not as the Wave Mother intended. It was a beast who took her life, an unnatural one whose very existence is an affront to Umberlee. A wretched metal monstrosity hewn by hubris. A rusting pollutant that bleeds black blood into Umberlee's pristine waters. The Queen of the Depths is generous to those who serve her, and her favor is far less deadly than her wrath. Find the master of this poisonous beast and slay him. Then one of her most precious gifts shall be yours.
You're reminded of the Bay Knight's submersible. Could they be connected?
The beast struck Holly while she was swimming in Grey Harbor. She was found by some fishermen. We haven't found its lair as yet. Perhaps you can find where the beast takes its slumber and skewer it before it wakes. That privilege is not yours to earn. Salt kiss your brow. We await your return and the Beastmaster's demise.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
I was swimming in Grey Harbor. Metal monster. Big, fast, hit my head. Everything went black. I was swimming. I was attacked. Just black blood everywhere.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Oi! What's this? You ain't supposed to be down here, mate.
A submersible. It matches the description of the vehicle that brought the Gondian hostages into the Iron Throne.
No news is good news, right? Especially with the rough water between here and the Iron Throne. No prisoners lost in the last batch of runs either, though them servants of Umberlee are making the trip damn near deadly. Bloody salt is always flopping around in the water. I've almost hit one or two now. Might have even nicked one off the port bow the other day. Maybe that'll teach them to keep out of the way. Gondians, mostly. Collateral to keep those working in the Steelwatch foundry under control. You're testing me. All right. It's an underwater prison, most secure in the realms. Myself and Cap are the only ones who can make it there in one piece.
Alder Ravengard is here. He must be.
If he is, that's Lord Gortash's business. I don't ask questions. Do you now? Boss never sends anyone that away but prisoners. Huh. Not like him to surprise me, but... mad times. I'll take you in. But look, there's some bad shit going down in there. You don't want to get involved. Neither did I, but it was them or me. I'll get Cat warmed up. Get in when you're ready.
Aren't you the intrepid little adventurer, digging and diving where you don't belong? Wrong. Your presence here is the only real threat to their survival. Dead, they're no use to me, so I keep them safe, after a fashion. I have prepared for this eventuality, and if you interfere, I will destroy the Iron Throne. Return to the docks, or the deaths of everyone inside will be on your conscience.
Your mind turns to the Gondian hostages, bound in fear, their futures hanging by a thread in Gortash's web.
That was a mistake. When the corpses start to wash up on the shore, remember, you could have prevented all of this.
Halt. A cold, suckering wetness grasps at your mind. A voice, familiar to you from the Underdark, wraps itself around your brain.
You must act with haste. Duke Ravengard is held within these walls. He must be extracted. Normally I would find your people's lust for pleasantries amusing. Unfortunately, we have no time. There are many hostages here. Duke Ravengard chief among them. He needs your help. Do not concern yourself with me. The city will be best served if you save Duke Ravengard. Duke Ravengard is held in the security wing. Be careful. There are many hazards. This structure is collapsing. Act with speed. Act with efficiency. Good luck.
Will, my pet, I was hoping you'd bound along. A bargain's a bargain, and I've come to see it through. Mia Furia. Kneel for me.
What are you doing?
Exactly what you asked for. Now, stand back and enjoy the show.
Calmness greets you upon exiting the submersible. Unlike the Iron Throne, you remain intact. So, it seems, will the families of all the hostages rescued from the throne. Duke Ravengard approaches you, looking confused.
He's tackled, but under my protection now, just like you. His mind is his own again.
Father. Will. Gods, it pains me to look at you. By Baldur's graces, why have the hells ordained you to save me?
Your tadpole resonates with Ravengard's. The exhausted Grand Duke is a flurry of emotion.
By every last hell, son, I my head.
Ravengard's head still aches so powerfully the pain seeps into you. The Absolute may be silenced, but the Duke's parasite still remains.
I know you have questions. Please, go to our camp. You'll be safe there. We'll talk soon enough.
Ravengard answers with silence. He and Will have much to discuss.
Listen, lad. Only a special sort could have done what you did. Thank you.
By God, I'm glad you showed up. Hopefully Frell's not too worried about me.
You were so heroic. My word. I can't wait to tell Scorv what happened. Gods, I hope he's all right.
Featherweight Falson will be back in the ring in no time. Once my daughter Claw is freed.
Your world's heir. I never imagined missing its feeling on my skin. Curious. I owe you a great debt, son child. One I shall repay. When I return to the surface, I will alert my colleagues at the Society. Find me there, and I will offer you what aid I can against this evil.
I can't thank you enough. I was certain that place was to be my cold, wet tomb. You saved us! Saved us all! I thought it impossible, but you did it! We were kept hostage to control our families and the Steelwatch Foundry, to keep them building Gortash's death machines. Please. They need to know what happened here. They have no reason to obey Gortash anymore. If they rebel, it'll put a dent in Gortash's steel might. He did? Of course he did! I knew it. I knew he would do something.
You were to administer Umberlee's justice. Instead, you conspire with the abomination. He who sickened the harbor with blood so black the sea itself chokes.
Gods, they're nuts. You have to help me.
Step out of the way. Protect him, and Umberlee will swallow you whole. Your lies won't save you. Give us the abomination or be counted as his ally. Then you've made your choice. You supplicate to the ocean or you are sucked down, down, down. Wave servants, destroy them.
What a bloody day. I need a drink, a nap, and a holiday. Thanks to you, I'll live long enough to do all three. Here. Least I can do. Now, get all these folks out of here before you get me into even more trouble.
First you cleave my heart in twain, now you shatter it to pieces. My son a monster. Twisted beyond recognition. To think my blood flows through those veins. Is this my fate? To be freed from Gortash's hell, only to be trapped in yours?
It isn't what you think. It never was.
You turned your back on me, on your city, to chase the she-devil and her power. She stinks up the place even now. It is exactly what I think. There is no wise use of the Hell's powers.
Father, please. There's something I must show you.
Ravengard's tadpole clenches as your memories and wills flow into him.
My tears wounds. I'm in your mind.
The Grand Duke sees Mizora and her infernal sisters. He sees the agony in Will's face as an impossible choice is set before him.
No. My son.
The past becomes present, and Will's thoughts are laid bare. Ravengard sees Will partnering with Mizora to defeat Tiamat's cultists before they could lay siege to Baldur's Gate, and he sees everything beyond. The Nautiloid journey, the perilous path to Moonrise, the astral prism, and the Emperor within.
Well,
everything I did for Baldur's Gate. I did for you.
All too right. My son. You sold your soul to save Baldur's Gate, and I cast you out for it. You gave yourself to the Hell's eternal fire so I might walk free. By the gods. Can you ever forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive. You wanted to protect the city. I only ever wanted the same.
You are a better man than most, and a better son than I deserve. I'll yet make amends, but my duty is first and foremost to the city and its people. There's something I must ask of you. Before I was captured, I was on a mission. Returning from Elturel, I discovered the plans of the Absolutists. I immediately realized the city couldn't defend itself against such an army. I didn't despair, because the city has a secret guardian, a worm that sleeps beneath. He can be called upon in times of great need. This is such a time. You've been trained in the ways of the great champions and proven to be one of them. The worm will answer your call. You must seek him out.
Courage, insight, strategy, justice. I remember them well. You made me recite them every morning.
So you do. And I thought you'd abandoned them. More fool me. The worm goes by many names. Ansur, the waiting storm, the heart of the gate. He promised Baldur he'd protect the city if ever its existence was threatened. But just the once. Since then, the city has faced countless threats, but we always overcame. There was never a need to call on the worm. Until now. The Absolute is the greatest threat Baldur's Gate ever faced. The worm must be awakened, and the task falls to you. Take this. The legend of Ansur. An ancient epic. Ill-remembered. Dismissed as a mere tale. Let it set the path before you.
Baldur's Gate stands on the brink of the abyss. My father was clear. We awaken the worm and take back the city.
Will, you are more valorous than Baldur himself. May the city know the truth of my only son. Pride of Ravengard. Pride of Baldur's Gate.